Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my 5th iteration of my shotgun marksman for last Epoch. Of course, this is the strongest version. I will cover every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now obviously this is my shotgun marksman. It's currently at corruption 546. And I call it a shotgun marksman. This is a build that I've been working on over and over again. This is the 5th iteration that I started in 2021 because there's a node in the multi-shot tree called Giant Slayer. And what Giant Slayer does is it allow multiple arrows to hit the same target. Now, normally when you shoot multi-shot, even if you shoot 20 arrows, only one arrow actually does damage. But multi-shot allows it that, you know, if the enemy has a big hitbox, it'll get hit by multiple arrows. We also take point blank, which gives you a 75% multiplier to your damage based upon being close. Hence, you are a shotgun marksman. You want to be as close as possible to the target so that you trigger point blank, and you want to make sure that multiple arrows are hitting the same target. So even though that you are a ranged character, you want to be melee, up close, and personal. And you will see that this build has a lot of headroom. Even at almost 550 corruption, look at this. Absolutely just massacred. We're using shift, we're using smoke bomb, dark quiver, shurikens, and multishot. And it's a lot of fun. I streamed the build all day as I've been putting it together and testing it, and it is doing very, very well. So what I'll do now is show you some single target. Exiled Mage, 546 corruption. It's funny, sometimes they're annoying because they jump all over the place. Look at that. Come here. Dead. Empowered Nemesis. They don't move much and have a bigger hitbox. So they go bye-bye fast. Shade of Orbis. This is at 540 corruption. Just trying to show you a bunch of different single targets. Spicy. And Shade of Orbis, you are dead. But what's one more, the ultimate big target, the Emperor of Corpses, the big old dragon. And yes, 546 corruption. A lot of arrows do a lot of damage. Look at his life. Final ward phase. Jump out of there. Oh, he is dead.
Easy.
Good night, Emperor. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So now let's break down the skills for this shotgunner, and I'll try and tell you which points to take first. For Dark Quiver, what you want to do is you want to take these 3 nodes first. And this is the node that is very important until dawn. This makes it where every 3 seconds, basically a dark quiver or a dark arrow is going to be on the ground for you to pick up. On top of that, you're also going to get 5 stacks of Dust Shroud. You're then going to come up and snag this node, Quick Draw, which is going to give you 3 seconds of Frenzy. Then come immediately down here and get Crimson Quiver, which is going to give you 5 stacks of Crimson Shroud. Now you'll have 1 point left over, and I just put that in Shadow on pickup, but you can put that wherever you want. Moving over to our damage dealer, Multishot. So what you want to do first is you want to come up here and snag this node. It's only 2 points and get Strong Pull. This is going to give you a 60% multiplicative damage bonus to your Multishot. You're then going to come over here to the right and snag all these points, getting Giant Slayer. And again, this is why it's my shotgun marksman, because projectiles can hit the same target and you have a 500% stun chance, which is great. On here as well, you also have a 60% multiplier to hit damage to slowed targets. You want to make sure your enemies are slowed, and I'll talk about that during the gear section. You then want to come down here, move over to the left, and you want to snag point blank. This is going to be your 75% multiplicative damage, of course, if you are close to the target. You then want to come down and put 3 into repeater bow, which reduces the amount of attacks for a double shot. And then you want to put 3 right here into piercing. That way that it could hit multiple targets and they just don't stop on the first one. Now, obviously, I have 26 points in, so I made the decision to go all in on attack speed on these 2 nodes. But if you feel like you're running out of mana or you're struggling anything with attacking too quick, you could take those points and move them up right here into sniping, which is just going to give you more multiplicative damage and projectile speed. Okay. Moving over to Smoke Bomb. Smoke Bomb is so easy. First thing you want to do is come down here, get Lingering Fumes for duration, and get Shadow Hunter for 10% base crit chance. You're then going to come over to the right on these 4 nodes and get Cleanse's Ailments. And then your final 2 points, you're going to come up here and you're going to get Rapid Concealment, which is going to give you Dust Shroud every second. Moving over to Shift, one of the best movement skills in the game. You want to take these 2 nodes first, Velocity and Momentum. This is going to give you a quicker cooldown, so you could use it more often, and Haste when you use it, so you run around quicker. You're then going to come up here and put 5 points into Sleight of Hand, so that when you use Shift, you automatically trigger your Shurikens. You're then going to continue over here, and you're going to get Molting, which is going to cleanse as well. You want to cleanse as much as possible. And your final 4 points will be right here, so that you are invulnerable while shifting. Final skill, Shurikens. And again, really, Dark Quiver and Shurikens, you never have to hit the button for. For Shurikens, first thing you want to do is come down here and get this tree. This is going to be your Blade Shield, and it's going to give you a buff to your armor with a longer duration. You want it to have 100% pierce chance, so that way it just continues until the duration is over. And then you're going to come over here and take this tree here, which is going to help you blind enemies and immobilize them. So those are the skills: Dark Quiver, Multishot, Smoke Bomb, Shift, and Shurikens. So now let's break down the passive tree. At time of recording, I am level 97, and I will show you where I plan on putting those final 3 points. Now, looking at the base rogue tree, we've taken attack speed, base damage, we've taken guile, evasion, and agility. So this is kind of a standard tree for rogue, where you have less damage, less hit damage while you are moving, and dodge. You have a chance to generate haste on hit and damage for your movement speed. And then we've taken dodge and parry, which is again more dodge, base, and glancing blow. Now moving over to Marksman, we're going to go through the tree. Currently 65 points put in. We have 8 into Draining Arrows for attack speed, 5 into Focus Fire for haste, 5 into Assassin's Quiver for a ton of crit, 1 into Woundmaker, and even with only 1 point in at 10% chance, you will get 10 stacks on target. We've gone very heavy onto Concentration with 8 points, 5 into Meditation, and 4 into Reflection. So you really want to get a lot of points in this tree here. It is very, very good. I have 5 into Missile Mastery, Bow Damage, Armor Shred Chance, and Armor Shred Effect. And you can go to any training dummy and you could very easily get 1,000 plus stacks of Armor Shred with this build. Barbed Arrows, Physical Shred Chance, 1 into Arrow Storm, 1 into Covering Fire for Silver Shroud, 1 into Barrage of Pain, and 5 into Perfect Aim. And on here you can have up to 5 stacks, so that's 75% crit multiplier from your Barrage of Pain. We also have 1 into Eternal Arrows to get us 2 into Master Archer, which gives you more arrows overall. And lastly, Sniper's Gambit, also 30 base to your bow. So that is what we have taken in Marksman. I've changed this tree, I don't know, 1,000 times, but I feel like this is it in its best form. Moving over to Falconer, I have 5 into Raptor's Wings, chance to gain haste on hit and more damage multiplicative when you have haste, which with this build is all the time. And then on here we put 1 into Wilderness Scout to get us 5 into Tenacity, which is going to give you 15% of your max health as Endurance. And we have a ton of Endurance on this build. Moving over to Blade Dancer, 8 points into Cloak of Shadows for Dex and Glancing Blow. Now, you'll notice up here I have 5 unspent points. I didn't want anybody to get confused. My final 3 points are going to go right here. So level 98, 99, and 100, my final 3 is going to be 8 points into steady hand, which is going to give us 8 to dex and life as well, 42 life. So that's the passive tree. And actually, while I'm here really quick, take a look at the armor shred stacks. Take a look at the armor shred stacks. 999 plus. Moving over to last Epoch tools, we're going to break down the blessings, idols, and gear, starting with blessings. Now on here, it's pretty straightforward. We took void resistance, all resistance, physical resistance, mana, and dodge rating. Now on here in your gear, if you have great physical resistance already and you don't need the physical resistance blessing, you can switch this one out and you can come up here and get physical shred chance. So that would be a good blessing if you do not need the physical resistance. Okay. Moving over to idols. On here, you will notice that we have 4 double life idols, of course. And then we have health, 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 and health on our other idols with a little bit of resistance and bow damage mixed in. So idols, very straightforward, as much life as you can possibly get. All right. Moving over to gear. Now, technically speaking, there is nothing required for this build. So there's not like, oh, you've got to go get this thing to make it work. Okay. That's not the case, but there is some best in slots and we'll kind of go through them one at a time. So first thing we are looking at is Peak of the Mountain. This is going to give you tons of critical strike chance. If you're in Merchant's Guild, 2 LP are almost free. Like there's like thousands of them. And on here, you want to get level 2 Multishot. Actually, during stream today, it took me 5 attempts to finally hit the T7 on one. But again, they are very, very easy to acquire. Okay. This is the body armor we are using. We're using the Kestrel. And I actually have a couple of these that are 4 LP. I'm not going to put 4 LP on the build planner, but 3 LP are again in Merchant's Guild practically free. This is going to give you movement speed, dodge rating, haste on hit, haste effect, and +1 to skill levels. And then obviously, since it's so easy to get 2, 3, 4 LP, you just add in double health and increased bow arrow damage for multi-shot. Okay. Continuing on that, we have taken Thorn Slinger. And really, again, I use Thorn Slinger for a couple of things. It's going to give you movement speed. It's going to give you 1 to skill levels. But again, it's so easy to get 2 and 3 LP of this. So take that +1 to physical skills because that point is going to give you a lot for your build. And then on here, we have mana regen with double life. For our boots, we are using Foot of the Mountain. And on here, we put increased movement speed and hybrid health. And this is going to give you endurance. This is also going to give you Stack of Mountains endurance. And it's going to give you 100% of that dodge rating is converted into endurance threshold. That's why we have so much endurance on our build. It's because of our Foot of the Mountain. And that's why we're pretty tanky. All right. Continuing around, we are using Drellcore's Compass. And on here, I put on critical strike chance, bow attack speed, and crit multiplier. And of course, this is going to give us more arrows. It's also going to give you a lower cost, and it's going to give you more stun chance. All right. For our Quiver, we are using Nightbringer. And Nightbringer is going to give you a multiplicative damage to blinded enemies with multi-shot. Also, it's going to ensure that all enemies are slowed and all enemies are blinded, which is great. And blinded enemies cannot deal critical strike, which means you don't need any critical strike avoidance. You just got to make sure you shoot and hit the enemies. Nightbringer. So that's the gear as far as legendaries around the horn. Amulet, double health, physical penetration, and crit multiplier. Ring, dex physical, ring, dex physical. Gloves, endurance, double life dex, and relic, crit multiplier, physical. That is the gear. So now let's talk leveling. This is not going to be a leveling guide, just some kind of general advice for leveling your marksman. Now for me, I basically use the same 3 skills regardless if it's a blade dancer, a marksman, or a falconer if I am leveling, and that is shift, cinder strike, and smoke bomb. Now for shift, the first 2 nodes that I take are right here, velocity and momentum. because you want to be able to have more cooldown and be able to traverse the campaign quicker. It is probably the best movement skill for early game. Second skill I use is Cinder Strike, and the reason why I use that is because there's so many low-level fire uniques that you can make some awesome legendaries, and it just helps you fly through the campaign. And honestly, you could use this in melee form or using a bow. And then that last skill is Smoke Bomb. And Smoke Bomb, I just come down and snag these 2 nodes for the critical strike chance and the duration. Literally, those 3 skills, Shift, Cinder Strike, and Smoke Bomb, you will fly through the campaign. Now, if you just want to start building this from the very beginning, or at least pretty close to the beginning, once you get into that level mid-20 range, you're going to actually unlock the Marksman Mastery. And at that point, you could switch out Cinder Strike for Multishot, and you can just immediately start working Multishot. You can come up here and grab Strong Pool, and you could start working your way around on the different nodes if you just want to use Multishot from the beginning, but you don't have to. You could use Cinder Strike all the way till Monoliths. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new and improved shotgun Marksman? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I can do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Of course, only if you think I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I'm going to work harder for you. Check out the Discord. Right now, we're almost at 4,500 members. We do a game giveaway every 2 weeks or a merch giveaway just for being a member of the community. And the current game is Last Epoch. So make sure you check out the Discord. We also do movie nights and game nights. It's a great place to hang out. I'm done. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.